wondered if a black talk radio station would work in Southern California.
Y'all did it!
Well, KBLA Talk 1580 toasts its 3rd anniversary on Juneteenth, and you're invited to celebrate with us.
Hey, Tabitha Smiley, y'all the bomb!
All you have to do is go to KBLA1580.com right now and sign up. Admission is free, but mandatory, and space is limited. Once we reach capacity, we'll have to cut off the online registration, but it's open right now.
Oh my God!
So don't delay.
Thank you guys for doing the best at what you do.
Log on to KBLATalk1580.com right now and register to join us for an afternoon of good music, good people, and good vibes.
Happy anniversary.
Wednesday, June 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will provide the food and drink, but be sure to bring your low-back chairs, blankets, and your personal picnic baskets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's celebrate 3 years of being the most trusted, credible, and reliable source of news and information.
We love you, KBLA.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're black and stride again.
Black and stride again.
Happy anniversary.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane. Got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games. Man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Let me give you a brief overview of this topic tonight. Yesterday's topic was very specialized, meaning it was very narrow. And so, you know, I think a lot of you could relate, but not enough of you. So I thought it would be fair for me to come back and talk about backstabbing, which is a form of, you know, to me, it's like a form of sociopathy. And you know, to backstab an individual, especially a family member, says a lot about you. And in fact, there's a lot of research on psychology, dark psychology, and I'm going to explain in a second what that is. There's a lot of research in dark psychology that says backstabbing is a form of behavior that's not only common to quote unquote high school mean girls or difficult women, but also it's kind of this characteristic theme for sociopaths and narcissists, and even those that we might even call a dark empath. Now, for those of you who are well aware of my topics on dark empathy, you probably don't need this crash course, but let me just briefly explain before I jump into the chat box and welcome you, what dark empaths actually look like. So there is a lot of research now that has been conducted on what we call the dark triad. And that consists of three important things: psychopathy, which is kind of like, this cold hearted, callous way that, human beings who are psychopaths relate to others. They are very methodical and strategic. They are evil. They are dark. They are backstabbers. Okay, I'm going to throw that in there. They are also cold-hearted. They typically don't have compassion, and they constantly feel the need to be on top. So that's the psychopath. The other part of the dark triad is Machiavellianism, and that's that long word that starts with an M. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to post some of this in the description box for you. But Machiavellianism is the idea that there are individuals who have almost like this internal stimulation that excites them when they do something wrong, or they see something happening to somebody else that maybe they have triggered, right? Or let's say, I'll give you an example of Machiavellianism. Let's say you're working with someone and they've always come across as slightly callous to you. And they know, though, that you've been working for this job promotion for many years. And this job promotion is something that you really need for your family. An individual with the trait of Machiavellianism will utilize their sex appeal. They will utilize their political power. They will utilize their social standing to excel over you and somehow go to the boss behind your back and say, I'm your best person. And when you find out that they stole your position, the position that you've wanted for a long time, they get this internal stimulation of pleasure and happiness, and just, it's kind of like, this is really good. I'm so pleased, So that's an example of Machiavellianism. And then, of course, we have narcissism, that grandiose sense of self, that manipulation, that triangulation.
Ooh, she said a lot. The little Machiavellian breakdown, you can apply that to relationships, right? The Machiavellianism, right? You can apply that to relationships, because most people in relationships, in or out of relationships, are not whole, not healed. Most people who are in a better situation than they left still think about the last situation, right? Still would love to blame shift when they retell the story, right? Still will retell the story from their perspective and not necessarily a balanced one. So Machiavellianism is right there. This is deep. And it's going to fit right into today's topic. The triple inquisition of the scapegoat. Deny, dismiss, and discredit. See, when a person ain't comfortable with self, somebody else is at fault. It's somebody's fault. Can you be uncomfortable with yourself and it be no one's fault? Can you? Is it okay if you learn how to just be uncomfortable with the totality of who you are? We all know we're all works in progress. We all know that everybody got something to work on. If everybody's got something to work on, then no one should have time to judge, to condemn, to discredit, right? To marginalize. But we do it. Yes, we do it. Scapegoatism in relationship is a big deal because it reveals the level of personal accountability, right, you've developed within yourself. Some people can be accountable for small things. Some people can be accountable for mid-level things, and even fewer people can be accountable for big things, right? Have you ever seen somebody justify their lie? Right? With the person, right? By way of the person they lied to. Right? I lied because you did this. I lied because you lied. Scapegoating. Scapegoating is a form of systematic abuse where someone is blamed or shamed for problems within a family system, even if they are not at fault. This can happen in relationships and can have long-term consequences for the victim. I think we're all victims of scapegoating. Goes back to my good friend, Alan Berger. We are all victims of victims. And we create these toxic cycles because the toxic cycle is what we know. The toxic cycle is our norm. We want to keep having conversations about relationships. And nobody really wants to say, you know what? For the past 2 years, I've been in the dark night of the soul. Let me share some of the insights that I've extrapolated from that. That's no lie. Zoe Williams is talking from his experience right now. For the past 2 years, Zoe Williams has been in my own personal dark night of the soul. And a lot of these topics and a lot of these discussions are coming out of the revelations from that process. I don't technically see the light at the end of the tunnel currently. And the only light that I extrapolate from this process is sitting down here with you 4 days a week, sharing what is coming to the surface. Many people would rather scapegoat their significant other than face their own internal orchestra. Face the music. Many people don't want to face the music. What is scapegoating? Well, according to the American Psychological Association, the APA, scapegoating can be defined as the process of directing one's anger, frustration, and aggression onto others and targeting them as the source of one's problems and misfortunes. So you mean to tell me scapegoating is your issues projected onto me? Right? Oh, Lord, this gonna be deep. Y'all got to get to your phone lines because I know somebody has done it to you. Or better yet, I know you've done it to someone. What is the scapegoat? And how does its role function within a relationship context? I'm very interested to know. I want to know if you've been scapegoated. I want to know if you've scapegoated someone. Scapegoating refers to the act of blaming a person or group for something bad that has happened or that someone else has done. Scapegoating can happen to protect the image of the family or a person, right, who is favored in the group, not just the self. It is common for one person to be scapegoated, but it can happen with more than one person. I'm very interested to know. Because we see this framed differently in relationships. A little bit different. They call it blame shifting. Why is it called scapegoat? I want to know. I think I have an idea, right? Does anybody else think they know what scapegoat actually means? Let's look. Scapegoat. I can tell you what it is. Listen, when we come forward, Zoe is going to open up the phone lines. And I really, really want to have a for real serious conversation with you all. Los Angeles, you need to stand up. 1-800-920-1580. I see all my Los Angelinos who be listening to the show, the people that pour into the cigar lounge. Gary, he's sitting there listening right now. Yes, Gary, I said your name on the air. Angelique will pull me to the side and have a whole session with me. You know, I was listening to your show the other day, Zoe, and boy, I'm a Los Angeles, y'all got to show up, but the rest of the nation as well. When we come forward, we're going to peel back the layers on this scapegoating.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Pardon the interruption. It's me, Tavis Smiley, here to remind you that we are now just days away from our historic Climate Justice Symposium live on C-SPAN this coming Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center. We are now pushing capacity. So if you plan to join us, stop procrastinating and get to KBLA1580.com right now and register. Attendance is free, but registration is mandatory. Black folk are flying into LA from all across the country to be in the room when we go live to the world with a stage full of black brilliance on the eve of Juneteenth. And you live here, you better get to KBLA1580.com right now and claim your seat.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now during our Memorial Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed plus free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Memorial Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
KBLA delegation, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Has your weight loss dreams, have they turned into a weight gain nightmare? Have you been chasing those 20 pounds for the last 20 years? Then it's time for D-Herbs. D-Herbs Full Body Cleanse is a natural cleansing regimen that can help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days. The Full Body Cleanse will also boost your immune system and improve your digestion. With summer just right around the corner, stop chasing the 20-pound weight loss and propel yourself into a healthier lifestyle. To reboot your system and lose those 20 pounds, just go to dherbs.com and order your full body cleanse or call 866-434-3727. Mention KBLA 1580 and get 10% off your order. dherbs.com. Experience healing.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Today, I woke up with some insights this morning, and then I had my emotional rehab live and then my shadow work live, and it was so perfectly, it was almost like this insight dropped in for them. And so together we collaborated this idea for this video. So I want to thank you guys, especially Rose. You really helped me with this one. So this is such a big cycle. And when I figured this out, I felt like the universe dropped in and I was like, wow, it was such an aha moment for me. So I really want to share this. And this is in those courses, but this is going to another step deeper. And here's what happens. When we grow up in families where we're emotionally invalidated or not properly mirrored or neglected or abused in some way, or if it's just a dysfunctional home, this is what happens. We're constantly in this hamster wheel to get validated by the person that constantly invalidates us. For multiple reasons that I've explained over many videos, but also especially in these courses, when we are emotionally invalidated by a parent or a teacher or someone in authority, but I want to stick with parent right now because the reason I want to stick with parent is because that's what we do in our relationships.
I'm sorry,
in our intimate relationships.
I don't want to take you down the rabbit hole. We're gonna pick right up where she left off, but I feel like context is needed here. First off, let's speed right back up to adults. Right? Cut to we're adults. She's talking about childhood, okay? But cut to adults. We go into the relationship. We're looking for the validation. Not only are we looking for the validation, we're performing for the validation. The real us ain't showed up yet. We're in performance mode because we're trying to secure the validation. In a lot of ways, many people who are hurt, many people who have been hurt, childhood PTSD, whatever you want to say, anything, raised by codependent, right? Self-love deficient, raised by a covert narcissist, raised by somebody hurt. All they do is teach us to perform in our adult relationships. So we go in, we have these expectations, we think folk supposed to give us what our wound requires. And in a lot of ways, many people with maladaptive attachment styles, we operate like narcissists. I'm not saying we are narcissists. I'm saying hurt people share some of the traits. And one of the traits, right, you got to understand. You could say the word supply, right? If validation is the supply, right? You didn't get it as a child. You expect it as an adult. The one who started loving you from the beginning didn't give you something. You start performing for them in order to get it. And sometimes they get it. Sometimes they withhold it. You take this mentality into your adult relationships. And most of the time, to use the wisdom of Iyanla Vanzant, she would say, most of the time, these are couched in silent contracts. How the hell we gonna have a talk about interracial love and dating if we don't heal? How we gonna talk about 50-50 splitting the bills if we don't heal? Right? Relationship is a hospital for childhood wounds. Somebody meme it. Adult relationships is the hospital for childhood wounds. Yes, we can go to a concert. Yes, not only can we go to the concert, we can go have a really high-end meal. Yes, we could go to the movies. Let's go see Bad Boys 4. The new Planet of the Apes is out. Let's go see that, right? We can do all of these things that are mere dressing on a cake that has rotted from the inside out. people don't want to hear it tonight. Scapegoating is a pervasive and insidious form of abuse that can wreak havoc on an individual's sense of self-worth. Do you understand? And identity within intimate relationships. The scapegoat, often unfairly blamed and shamed for problems within the family or relationship system, becomes a target for the projection of anger, frustration, and aggression. This is crazy. Listen, are y'all ready for this tonight? I don't know how ready you are, but I'm ready to go into this deeply. But I need you to do it with me. I need you to call in and share your perspective. Share your thoughts. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, the voice of reason shall go to the phone lines and see what you got to say about it.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A lawsuit filed against the Birmingham Jefferson County Civic Center Authority over the issuance of construction contracts has been dismissed by a Jefferson County judge. The suit filed by the Black Contractors Association of Alabama accused the Civic Center Authority of not doing enough to meet a specified goal of 30% minority participation and plans to construct a new $50 million amphitheater in the Uptown District of Birmingham. Judge Tamara Harris Johnson threw out the lawsuit, saying it had no merit. A proposal for a curfew for minors in downtown Chicago is expected to be introduced soon in City Council. Alderman Brian Hopkins wants an 8 p.m. curfew in the Central Business District for all minors without adult supervision. The proposal follows a recent attack on a couple in Streeterville that led to charges against 2 teens. Black Mayor Brandon Johnson says he opposes the plan. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale is here. Save up to $500 on select adjustable bed sets like the all-new Temper Adapt collection with advanced pressure relief to help reduce aches and pains. Plus, get a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Hurry into Mattress Firm today.
When I move my body, I feel like freedom. Happy anniversary, KBLA!
West of the Mississippi.
And they wondered if a black talk radio station would work in Southern California.
Y'all did it!
Well, KBLA Talk 1580 toasts its 3rd anniversary on Juneteenth, and you're invited to celebrate with us.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, y'all the bomb.
All you have to do is go to KBLA1580.com right now and sign up. Admission is free, but mandatory, and space is limited. Once we reach capacity, we'll have to cut off the online registration, but it's open right now.
Oh my God!
So don't delay.
Thank you guys for doing the best at what you do.
Log on to KBLATalk1580.com right now and register to join us for an afternoon of good music, good people, and good vibes.
Happy anniversary.
Wednesday, June 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will provide the food and drink, but be sure to bring your low-back chairs, blankets, and your personal picnic baskets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's celebrate 3 years of being the most trusted, credible, and reliable source of news and information.
We love you, KBLA.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're black and stride again.
Black and stride again.
Happy anniversary.
Helping to broaden your political
and moral imagination
with our 2024 climate justice campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Tips to help improve your credit score in 2024. Establishing credit is an important key to achieving financial health, but building a credit history from scratch can feel challenging since you need credit to build credit. First, what does it mean to build credit? All consumers have a score between 300 and 850. You want your score to be as high as possible as lenders look at your credit score to make loan and credit decisions. A good credit score shows you have a track record of borrowing money responsibly. Remember, it's never too late to build or rebuild your credit. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase & Company.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Today we're talking about flying monkeys in a smear campaign. But before we can really dig into it, we must first look at exactly how and where a narcissist may smear your name. There are a few ways. So the first way is with friends. If you've ever been sitting at a table with a narcissist who rolls their eyes when they hear you speak, you know that this is one of their smear campaign tactics. They do this to discredit you in front of others. They may also talk behind your back and say awful things about you, including telling people that you've been saying bad things about them. And if they believe the narcissist, these people will quickly become flying monkeys and willingly participate in your takedown. After all, they believe that you are going against them, so they're going to feel justified. The second way that a narcissist can engage in a smear campaign against you is with your family. And they may use the same tactics that we just talked about, the ones that they use with friends, but they're also more likely to imply that there's something wrong with you. When they're dealing with your family, they're likely to imply that you've changed and everyone needs to rally to make sure that you aren't making decisions for yourself. And of course, if your family believes that you need help, they're probably going to want to step in to help you. And so they may become flying monkeys without even realizing that that's what they're doing. So another group that a narcissist can use to smear your name are coworkers or your boss even. When you work with a narcissist, smear campaigns are a given. And you may have even been guilty of siding with a narcissist and becoming a flying monkey against someone else. Why would you do this? Well, because when you have to work with somebody every day, you realize pretty quickly that it's easier to be on their side than to be against them. Yes, it's a selfish thing to do, but I do know plenty of people who've been guilty of it. And another group that narcissists...
Jeez. So now, not only am I going to be scapegoated, but you could potentially smear my name, like engage in a smear campaign. We see smear campaigns all the time on the internet. IG. What do they say? Subs? Where they're subliminals, sending subliminals? Oh, absolutely. See, what I found out is the victim always needs a script that casts them in the role of the wronged. See, when you're healing, you ain't got time to empower what you perceive to be an L. When you're really healing, you want to take whatever misfortune you may have gone through, you want to take that and use it as a catalyst to actually propel you upward, not cement you in this woe is me, I deserve better. So what happens is now that you've put on the victim jacket, right? Now that becomes your telemarketer script to enlist the help of flying monkeys. This is how you sell yourself to your next partner. Well, they did this and they did that and, they lied. Yes, everybody gonna lie. Why? Normalize it. Normalize it. Until humans evolve, myself included, until we evolve past the fear of rejection, past the fear of judgment, ridicule, or loss, humans are going to lie. It is a biological adaptation. So aren't you setting yourself up for failure by having a rigid concept that says nobody should lie, when you yourself are one of the most effective liars there are? I mean, just come on now. Can we be honest? Can we be honest? Scapegoat, the etymological meaning of it. 1530s. Goat, sent into the wilderness on the Day of Atonement as a symbolic barrier of the sins of the people. Coined by Tyndale. That would be William Tyndale, Shakespeare, right? From scape, a shortening of escape. So we're using the goat to escape. But it goes even deeper. We find that the Vulgate version of the 1611 AD version of the Bible, that is King James Version, 1611 AD, that particular one came out of the Greek and the Latin. The Latin word, or the Latin Bible, is known as the Vulgate. The word Vulgate gives us our word vulgar, vulgus. What it actually means is commoner, someone who is unlearned, someone who has not studied. Commoner, vulgar, right? That's the Vulgate Bible. They had to dumb down the esotericism in it so the commoners could actually read it. But the goat in the Hebrew translation coming out of the Vulgate tells us that the Hebrew word was Azazel, Leviticus, right? Azazel, the scapegoat. We always need to put it on somebody else, don't we? It's always somebody else's fault. Let me tell you, how you believe in one breath God don't make no mistakes, but then in the next breath, when you get challenged by the universe, by God itself, actually giving you lessons that are designed to up-level your understanding, you go into victim mode. God always had you in the positionality of victor, but it's contingent upon your free will and your perspective. I know you're not ready for this. Do we have call? I want to talk to somebody. We got callers. I'm going to get to them right now. Let's do it. Najee, New Jersey. What up? New Jeru's in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, what's going on, Zoe? Let me dip in here. I'm in the gym as I'm listening. So you know what? It's interesting. I listened to that clip, and I'm going through something like that in my relationship. Well, my old relationship. And I can say that I was being scapegoated. Not to play the victim, but just recognizing the traits. Everything that lady said, my old partner was doing. Mm-hmm. So she went on a campaign of calling my mother. She even embedded herself in my circle and would, talk about me, what I'm doing, calling my mother, calling her mother. I'm just getting random phone calls about what I'm doing or what I need to be doing to make my relationship better.
Let me stop you. Because this isn't to justify any of the goofiness that she was doing. But you must have done something to trigger her to get her to that point.
No, what I did was not doing what she wanted me to do. It was based on expectations. It wasn't necessarily based on any said thing that I was doing. I was not perfect in a relationship, but but accountability is strong with me.
Well,
So
this is even worse to me now because you didn't even do nothing. I can see if you did something, then I could say, well, maybe she wanted some revenge or something. But now, wow, you didn't even do anything. Continue, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so no, it was just the whole thing of her idea of what she wanted a relationship to be, and it was a lot of gaslighting. It was a lot of, you don't see yourself. I'm like, okay, I'm looking, I see myself. But have you ever sat back and looked at yourself? Right now, like she's in Italy right now. Mm-hmm. So I booked a trip to Aruba. We're not together. And she just randomly calls me. Hey, and she's in Aruba with my friends, my best friend and his wife and their friends. And she's like, do you want to come to Italy? I said, I already booked a trip to Aruba, so I'm not going to cancel that trip and come to Italy. And you're going to bring yourself to Italy. So the same things that we're going through in the United States, we're going to go through in Italy. And the funny thing was, my homeboy called me while he was in Italy. And he says, hey, Najee, I see what you were talking about. Because she showed up in Italy, who she was. And and I had to, on the side, call my homeboy's wife and say, can you do me a favor? I love you, but could you mind your business with our relationship? I understand that she's going back talking about me, things that I should be doing, what I'm not doing. But there's always two sides to the story. And when you interject your bias into it, just siding with women for the sake of siding with women, you're doing a disservice to me and you're destroying me in your relationship.
Wait.
So please,
No. Nah, G. Hold tight. You got to hold tight. Oh, this is good. You got to hold tight. When we come forward, we going back to the gym in New Jersey. Let's go.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys?
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you.
Do you find your moment-to-moment experience to hinge on what you're thinking right now? Do you carry around a feeling of inner pain, malaise, or otherwise a sense of suffering? Do you find that the more you learn about and think about narcissistic abuse, the less free from it you end up feeling? And finally, do you find yourself having to operate more like a human doing than a human being? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, then I hope today's video can be helpful. I want to discuss the difference between feeling like a human doing versus a human being, as it applies to the scapegoat survivor of narcissistic abuse. First, I'm going to describe how and why human doing mode is a thought of way of living that can become by honestly in the course of narcissistic abuse for the scapegoat survivor. Then I'll contrast this with what living in the present moment can offer. And if you watch until the end, I'll offer a way to notice when you're moving away from being in this moment and into or towards thinking or doing mode. This tactic can allow you to get reacquainted with yourself as you actually are, rather than strictly as you think of yourself. Well, my name is Jay Reed, and I'm a licensed psychotherapist.
Listen, I can't be what your unhealed wounds want me to be. I will not capitulate to your wounds' demands. We have to change the way we look at relationships. We must. It's important that we do it. Let me get back to Najee from New Jersey. Get in here. You got to give me your final thought, brother. What you were cooking, and I want you to get back to that. Najee? Is Najee?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I was on mute.
All right, there you go.
So Joe. So I mean, I took this relationship as a learning lesson, and I'm still, I'm still learning. But what I'm not going to do in this relationship, and as far as it relates to scapegoating, the diminishing what I bring to the relationship, the gaslighting, the just like what the lady said, the going behind my back, trying to turn people against me. But what I take issue and I take fault in this, the signs was there. The first time that she started an argument in front of my group of friends, that should have been the line, the line in the sand. That should have been when I made an ultimatum. If you do this again, it's over. So I take responsibility for allowing this to fester. I should have been ended this relationship. Now, I'm not saying that this woman is a horrible person.
Right.
But she has issues. We all have issues. We all have issues. But the fact that the last encounter, and I close, the last encounter that we had, I said, hey, I'm going to come down because I'm in Jersey. She lives in Philly. I drove down there just to get something to eat, just to see if we can vibe. Spent the night. She woke up in the morning, starting. Oh, we went out to eat. You didn't open the door for me. And not once did you even bring up anything about us in the relationship. And I'm just, Zoe, I looked at her.
Brother, you see, listen, wait, Najee, you see, I'm quiet. Brother, I've lived it now. Continue, man. You got time with me.
I looked at my sneakers, and I looked at my watch. I looked at my phone. I said, I got to get the hell up out of here. I got to go. I said, because this is just who this woman is. And she also has an issue with people depicting her as an angry woman. Well, if 9 out of 10 people think you angry, then you might be an angry woman. So, yeah, man, so it's a learning lesson. It's a process. So now I'm back into the dating game. And even me jumping back in the dating game, I'm running into little hiccups, but I'm still just kind of like, okay, what's my lesson in this? Like, I got to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's something in me.
Let me give you a lesson real quick. There are some people who are like that by default. Imagine when you're dealing with a person who is triggered by something you've done, and then they go into that. Do you understand what I'm saying? They didn't know
Right.
they were going to devalue you. This is why I'm saying the biggest lesson we have to learn about relationships is how to be in one with a human being. The clip that we just played talked about the human being versus the human doing. So guess what? You started off performative. Hey, we're going to do the right thing. I'm going to say the right thing. I'm going to act the right way. I'm going to show up, blah, blah, blah. But then when the humanity show up, then everything you haven't worked on hijacks your higher consciousness. Now the wounds got say, well, because you did it, I'm justified in doing this to you. You have these types of people. They could be the sweetest people in the world. You think they the coolest person in the world. But if you cross them, they don't use their higher consciousness. The wounds take over. Do you understand what I'm saying? Stay with me, Najee. Just I don't go because you're cooking right now, and I want to get more of your story. When we come forward back to the gym in New Jersey.